Welcome back, y'all. So, I don't know about y'all, but it's been movie heavy recently. We just talked about, well, if you were there for the last episode, we would have just talked about Demon Slayer. Peak. See that video for that commentary. Mm-hmm. But now we get to talk about more Ghibli. If you were with us this past summer, we did talk about it for some of the previous films. Actually, practically all of them for the Ghibli Fest this year. Yeah. Basically. Mm-hmm. So now, with the remaining three, we're just going to cover them in episodes individually. We might as well. We want to talk about them. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, our producer Carol might join us. Unfortunately, not today, but maybe for the remaining two, she will be with us. If you hear a voice in the background, that will be her.
It's me!
There's a person there.
There's a person there. There's a whole other human back here, guys.
You just can't see her.
The secret third option.
It's the hidden path.
Yeah.
So, if you couldn't guess, we're talking about Howl's Moving Castle today, so... Mm-hmm. We love a certain show.
One Piece.
But we also cover other anime.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Apothecary Diaries.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Soul Leveling. We like to spiel.
Exactly.
Covering seasonal anime, this is Seasonal Spiels. So we're back. Sorry, we had some off-screen fun. Special blooper edition. We're recording this before the dates should be happening, but this will come out after. So if you wanted to see the movie in theaters, it's already passed. Sorry. Mm-hmm. But the dates should actually have been September 19th through 22nd, I want to say, or something along those lines. Because it's always it depends. I say always, but it's Thursday or Friday through Sunday, Monday, depending on the timing. But I digress. We're just gonna do a breakdown of Howl's Moving Castle. So spoilers for the entire movie. If you have not seen it, click off now unless you just don't care. Basically our thoughts and feelings, and then maybe comparing it to how does it stand up against other Ghibli films for us personally. Obviously not an objective list.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know how to be objective about it, to be honest.
Yes, I'm a movie connoisseur, don't you know? That's why we're doing this, guys. So we're such experts, guys. We clearly have degrees of all kinds, so much experience directing stuff. Anywho. I guess I can kick it off. This probably just comes from the fact that it's one of the, let's say, 3 best Ghibli films. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean the most recognizable because they were all nominated for awards pre-Boy and the Heron. So that was Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, and Princess Mononoke. Mm-hmm. Most renowned, I would say, for Ghibli. Prior to, I guess, Boy and the Heron. I don't know if it's renowned necessarily yet because it's not been out long enough.
Yeah.
But it did actually win an award, so I feel like it ought to be. But at least, so, with that in mind, having seen Spirited Away already, having seen Princess Mononoke, going into House for me was it's gotta match up. It's gotta match those two. Even worse, a lot of people love this movie to death, above the other two. And I'm not saying, that's a bad thing. It's still a good movie. However, the entire time I was watching it, I was like, so when's the point I'm supposed to care about what's happening?
Fair.
Because, to a certain extent, it plays out like a classic fairy tale. Mm-hmm. Obviously Ghibli, so not exactly. And for the most part, I think that's fine. I just can't buy Sophie loving Howl. I can actually buy the reverse. I can totally buy the reverse. Because she becomes such a solid presence for him and Calcifer the entire movie, even though she's an old lady, a little weird there. Sometimes thinking about, he meets her young, but he really only knows her as an old lady, so that's a little weird. But the fact that she does take care of him, I feel like I can totally buy his reciprocation of her feelings. I'm just astonished that someone can just fall in love from one meeting.
I think the issue is that like you're saying, I can definitely buy the reverse where Sophie or Howl falls in love with Sophie because she's such a presence for him. But I think that's a lot of it has to do with the fact that you spend a lot more time with Sophie than you do with Howl.
That's true.
And you're only, I think the fact that you see Howl through her perspective is fine, but it also means that you don't get a lot of information about him,
I guess,
on his own, if that makes sense.
If anything, I would think the reverse.
Really?
Because a lot of Sophie's, because the entire narrative is only Sophie's experience with Howl, not with her own self of hat making she does, or helping her sister. I think it's her sister. I can't remember. I've only seen this movie once, guys, okay?
Yeah.
Calm down. So, I don't remember exactly, but at the beginning, I think it's her sister who's like, you know, she's like some sort of hat maker, I guess. I don't know what to call it. She works in a store that makes hats. Let's just get that out.
Right.
With her sister or some sort, or maybe it's like, I don't know, there's a lot more women in there, but I do feel like her sister at least got her the job, if nothing else. Or something along those lines, and it's because she's someone who checks up on her in her place of work, not her home. Right. So, you know, a little different there. And so I do think by missing out on, like, the majority of Sophie's upbringing, as well as the, like, the fact that Howl himself is infamous in the world, but we don't get any clue of that. Like, we get the mention of it from the sister, like, oh, Howl? That, like, I don't remember his name. I don't remember his wizard name, but, like, there's...
Pendragon?
Yeah, but there's like a title he has, and I don't remember what it is. But, like, that title, like, everyone's like, oh, you met him?
Right.
That hottie? And I'm like,
Yeah, you don't get any, like, besides him existing, you don't really get his, like, impact on other people.
Yes, you don't get, like, how this impact, like, how his role in the film actually justifies that impact. Because don't get me wrong, magic's cool and all, but, like, throughout the film you do just kind of see his struggles with that, and then eventually learning, like, oh, he was literally a little kid before he gave away his heart to a demon for magic, and you're like, maybe not the most responsible thing to do, but there was also no responsible person there, so there's that. And don't get me wrong, magic's fun, but you do see the whole, like, unfortunate fact that Hal doesn't seem competent. Which, like, fair enough. Man is clearly not mature enough.
He turned ginger for 5 seconds and was
died.
like, it's over.
It's over. He was like, you touched my
okay.
stuff. My hair is ginger. You killed me. Which, speaking of which, I actually wanted to say something. I normally don't mind the Julie dubs. And I do think Christian Bale's good in the dub. It's just not the same as the sub. Because there's something about, like, he's too calm for, like, even the heated moments. Like, that freak out of the hair... He's too calm.
Yeah,
he does not freak out. That is not the voice of a man, like, losing the world at his fingertips because his hair is a different color. And when I watched it in sub, I guess I did watch it twice because I did watch it in dub. My bad. I've seen it twice, but my memory ain't that great. But when I watched in sub, the voice of, like, Hal's voice actor, sorry, I don't know the name, he portrayed that much better. And I do think, like, there's pros and cons, but I do think that's one of the areas where it's like, for once, I just do think you should watch it in sub, if only because you don't get the range otherwise with Howl specifically.
That's fair, yeah, because I don't really have anything, I haven't seen the sub, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but even, like, just thinking about, like, his, like, Christian Bale is not a bad voice actor, but I think, like, the fact that, like you're saying, he's kind of, not monotone necessarily, but not bringing, like, he's not matching what the animation is showing.
He's not matching the energy, which is unfortunate too, because, like, spoilers, but in The Boy and the Heron, when he's matching the energy so freaking well, and he has a lot less presence there. I'm not sure if this is because he was younger and the role was essentially, I don't want to say forced upon him, but, like, the background that I do know, because I was intrigued and I stumbled upon this clip, or article or whatever, I don't remember. But anyway, the point is, Christian Bale, like, wanted to be part of Ghibli's next dub. He was like, oh, give me anything. I just want to be part of it. So when Howl's Moving Castle came out and they were, like, searching for dub actors, they were like, hey, you want Howl? And he didn't expect to get, like, offered the lead. So I don't know if that's why. It's because they didn't match it with someone who would match the vibe,
like,
you know, of the character.
Experience, like, auditioning for it.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was the mismatch or if maybe that was the direction and he did perfect with direction, but the direction was wrong. Like, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I think that's one of the instances where, because he is the main character and you get a lot more depth with the sub matching the range, like the sub voice actor's range matching the animation, I feel like, yeah.
That makes sense.
Again, no shame at the voice acting. It was great. It's just hard
not the energy that needs to be given, I guess.
And like every other the dub matches, so I'm like, it's unfortunate that it's just this one character who just happens to be the titular character.
The one, or I guess like the second main character.
Yeah, they're both I mean, you follow the protagonist as Sophie, but he's such a leading character. Like, literally would not have the movie without him.
Right.
So, there's that. And I think part of my feelings about this is because of everyone hyping it up and loving it. And to me, it doesn't feel like it's justified, because I don't want to say it's, like, overdone story, but, like, it is a familiar story with not many. There's cool lore, but we never really get too deep into it. Like, even the Scarecrow, the most we get is, like, this was a prince cursed at the end, and I'm like, dude, we could have had a cursed prince. That's a whole story. Why is he, like, a side character that gets shoved away? I'm fine with Sophie not loving him, even though, like, her care for him is what sets him free, but him wanting her and not reciprocating that's fine. I don't mind that. I'm just like, would that not have been a perfect tale to follow?
Right.
It's like this unexpected scarecrow friend who turns out to be someone cursed, as opposed to just a magic scarecrow.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been so cool. And we get, like, the whole war happening off screen, practically. I mean, sure, Howl flies around, but, like, I don't know what's happening.
You don't have
really.
any, like, background information on anything.
There's no context, and I feel like it's just so unfortunate that, like, to me, what ends up happening is almost just, like, such a... Like, it feels like we're following the B plot, almost. Rather than it being an A plot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying a little bit. Because even, like, I think part of the issue... full disclosure, I have not finished the trilogy of novels or, like, the novel that the movie is based off of. But, like, Howl's Moving Castle was a book series before it was a Ghibli movie. And I think, like... I don't know, because I haven't finished the first novel or the rest of them, like, I don't have a ton of information on, like, what they're picking and choosing from it, but, like, it seems kind of like they're taking, like, not out of context stuff from the novels, but they're, like, splicing stuff together from either the first novel or from all three that aren't, like, to create a complete story where, like, you need, like, a ton more information, if that makes sense. Because even,
that's
like,
fair.
I haven't, like, I don't know everything, but, like, even watching the movie on its own, it, like you're saying, it does feel like we're following, like, the B plot, where it's like, okay, a lot of stuff is going on that I don't really, like, the war happening, Howl's, like, entire presence in the story, really, outside of, like,
what about
his relation to Sophie feels like it's not developed at all. Even, like, the background information that you find out about him later on, where he's, like, what was it? He, like, gave his heart away to get magic. It's like, that's kind of it. That's all you know. And I'm like, okay.
And you're like, and somehow Sophie was, like, time traveling to see that.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And there's too many.
That's really straight. Like, it's, I mean, like, if you don't think about it too hard, it is cute that, like, at the beginning of the movie, he's like, I've been looking everywhere for you, and then at the end, it's like, it turns out he literally has been looking everywhere. But, like, when you do think about it for a little bit, it's like, well, what actually is going on, though?
Yeah, and it's frustrating because, like, even just the magic and the presence of wizardry itself is, like, a conundrum.
Yeah.
Because they have demons, and, like, it's just curious how they get their power, you know what I mean? Because, like, because I find it intriguing that Sophie's curse doesn't, I mean, it does eventually go away, but, like, can just anyone just be cursed for the sake of it as long as you have the ability to, or they're like, so, because it's interesting because there's a limit to what Howl can do with his own, like, contract with Calcifer, but does no one else have that problem? Like, do they not? Is it because he gave his heart away? Like, right? I feel like there's just so much extra lore and depth we miss out on that the movie brings up and never goes into, and then instead it focuses on this Sophie Howl dynamic, which, mind you, is not bad. However, personally, I think Howl is the weakest part of the movie because I love everyone else that Sophie just hangs out with, doing menial chores with, like the kid whose name I forgot because I don't live with this stuff rent free in my brain, so I don't remember their names. My bad. I know 3 names. You've heard me say them. That is it. Because even what is her name? The witch that cursed Sophie. Witch of something. Witch of the Waste or something.
Yeah, it's Witch of the Waste.
Yeah. Also,
I almost said Witch of the West.
What is with her evil goop that just melded out of her when she was, like, being like, I guess, purified, right? Is that not interesting?
When does that happen?
So, you know when Sophie assumedly is following Dog Howl when it's just a dog?
Oh, yeah.
And they go, and, like, the Witch of the Waste goes and follows and sits down in the chair and then gets, like, purified, I presume.
Oh,
and, like, her evil magic seeps out of her and she becomes this weird old woman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't...
Like, what, like, that's what I'm saying. There's different magics. How, why, what? So.
There's a lot, yeah. I mean, not that it's not a well-developed story, but it's just, I think you need more of it to really...
Yeah.
You can be invested in it without that, but, like, I don't know.
It doesn't feel like it's sad. The problem for me is the movie raises more questions than it answers, and that's just not satisfactory for me.
That's fair.
Like, by the time it ends. I'm like, cool, I don't want to see you two anymore, but what about everyone else? Can we go back to this world, learn more about, like, the Scarecrow Prince now? Can we go back to I guess she's a queen. Empress, whatever her title is, but the regent who was hunting for a Howl in the first place because he was I don't know, stupid.
Doing something.
I don't, guys. This just shows how much I care because I don't remember much happening in this movie. My bad. So Caroline, do you have any thoughts you want to add? Yeah.
How do I truly feel about Howl's that won't lose us a bazillion subscribers?
I mean,
I don't love this movie as
Yeah.
far as Studio Ghibli films go,
Yeah.
honestly.
I would agree with that. Like,
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And
I think it's kind of hard to follow.
Yeah.
It's, as usual, with most Ghibli films, it's really awesome to look at.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
But it's like both complicated and confusing.
It's also
For a cartoon.
It's also so simple in its main like B plot is what I'm gonna call it. But everything else is so complicated, like probably from the splicing effect, that it's just so frustrating because it's like you're forcing us to stay simple when we know that it can get complex.
It's really weird. And a little bit ago you were talking about the dub for this one. I don't like it.
I don't like it
I don't
either.
like the dub.
I don't like the dub either, but like I don't think it's again, I don't think besides from Christian Bale, which I've already discussed, I don't think any of them do a bad job.
No, I just don't like it.
It is
I don't know
yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, I will say actually, no, I take this back. I do dislike one voice actor's casting because I can deal with Christian Bale. I was like, he's fine. I'm fine because he's trying to be enigmatic and mysterious. Whoever they casted for Sophie, she's way too like whispery and like light in her voice. And I'm like, girl, speak up. Like actually, like have a voice. Like no one talks like with all like whimsical and like with a breathiness that just doesn't sound realistic whatsoever.
I kind of, a hot take, I kind of like Sophie's voice actor. No, it's fine. I mean, like,
going on.
to be fair, I'm the sub gal. I'm well aware
Yeah,
I
fair.
have a subconscious bias.
because I also haven't seen the other one, so I'm like very well after watching that could be like this sucks.
I vastly
but-
prefer the sub. I couldn't specifically tell you the reason why I don't like Howl's, but I just don't love it. I don't understand why it's so popular.
Right? The score I can believe because it's pretty.
Really, I like other ones better.
Oh, I 100%. Here's
I don't get it.
I 100% agree. I don't get why the main theme is so popular because you hear it like twice, and it's at the beginning and the end, and I'm like, okay, why is this so popular? It's just da 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 da. I'm like, guys, it's just some notes happening and
We'll
like.
sprinkle in our beautiful rendition.
But I think the score is satisfactory, but like I think I like every other Hisaishi score better.
I'm kind of with you. This one's not bad. There's nothing wrong with this movie.
It's just like rock bottom.
It's just at
just
the
not-
bottom tier.
Yeah.
I think my perspective is I like what's happening better than Ponyo, like as a movie, but everything else, like the music, the casting, the visuals, I'd like in Ponyo better.
If you like Ponyo better than something, that says a lot about the thing that you like less than Ponyo.
I think I really like that better because Ponyo at least gives me more depth and more enjoyment out of watching it. And I feel like I would be willing to put that out in the background for it, but I would never want to put Howl's in the background because I would just be frustrated.
Yeah.
Howl's is like, if I were to say, to me, Howl's is in the same group as Kiki's. I feel like that sounds like I'm saying mean things about Kiki's, which I do love.
Yeah.
And think does kind of deserve the level of love that it receives. But it's another one of those movies that, like, if I don't watch it anymore. I just kind of put it on.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
you kind of look
occurring
at it.
at the
Yeah.
same time as me doing
Yeah.
other things. It's not interesting enough for me to watch. It's definitely not one of my favorites.
It's like Ponyo.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I do think Kiki's...
I like Kiki's a lot.
I do think for me particularly, I do agree with the fact that I like Kiki better than Howl's, but I do think it's in the same vibe where like there is some sort of progression, but it's not nearly enough to be such a huge focus of the movie without like, at least for Howl's, without like actually dealing with it. We're focusing on something more complex rather than just mushing them all together. Kiki does a good job of focusing on the internal struggle and leaving it to settle.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's so much going on in Howl's that somehow it's boring.
It's really
You don't get enough out of every single individual thing.
yeah,
There's just so much going on.
it's too much.
It's so complicated and it's like also not very well guided at the same time.
Yes.
I feel like I get bored.
I can't buy into Sophie's kindness because I have no basis with which to represent like, oh, I've seen Sophie be kind to others. I can buy her being kind to this woman who cursed her. Mm-hmm. She's just kind to this old woman who's now no longer a witch, but literally cursed her to become an old woman. Like I'm like, Okay,
Yeah.
if someone cursed me, I would be throwing hands. I don't care how old you are. Like, to curse me, you willingly curse me.
You don't remember
like,
it.
reverse my curse. Like, I want my youth back. I don't think it's bad to
Japan
be.
is a high trust society.
Like, I don't mind being old if I had my life to get there.
Right.
You took away my life. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be happy that you're in my life now and expect kindness.
Yeah.
Like, dude, reverse the curse.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I will say I do like the experience of this movie because, like, a lot of it is tied to, like, I have a friend back home that, like, loves this movie and so we'll watch it together a lot. And I'm like, I like that, but, like, if I'm outside of watching it with her, I won't seek it out on my own because I'm like, it's, like, I like watching it with her specifically, but because that's my bestie. But like, like if I'm to watch it on my own, I would feel the same thing where I'm like, this is kind of boring to me. Or like even, like, I don't know. I like Howl and Sophie, but if I think too hard about like their relationship throughout the movie, I'm like, there's not enough here for me to really be that invested in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It's, to me, it's like, oh, that happened as a movie, and then I move on with my life. Like, it doesn't impact me nearly as much as the other Ghibli movies. Like, it doesn't, it does not feel new, it doesn't feel relatable. It's kind of just there.
Like, even what I did read of the book is, like, way more interesting.
I would imagine, as the source material, with more time to explore things. I would hope so. If not, oof, there's a problem. Why are you adapting that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's all we really gotta say. Feel free to make your own opinions, of course. Yeah, so I promise, we like the other two we're going to talk about more better.
Yeah.
And by all means, it's still, like, a good Ghibli movie. Like, it's still probably a solid... Is it a solid 7?
I would give it a 7.
I guess so. For the visuals alone, I guess. Sure. We'll just... Sorry, I just now I'm realizing I might backtrack, and... It's satisfactory. Like, if you... Basically, my idea is if you did see it in theaters and paid money for it, you wouldn't regret that. You wouldn't want you wouldn't want those missing hours back or that money back, but you probably wouldn't do it again.
Fair.
I think is the perspective
you
I would
wouldn't
take.
be like, this sucked.
But I don't think you'd be like, oh, I want to see this in theaters again. So, if you can find a free way to watch it, by all means. If not, try renting it on your TV instead for cheap. And watch it that way if you haven't. But that's pretty much it. That's all I really had to say.
Hello, Editing Audrey here. At the end of this episode, we originally talked about how next up you would be seeing us talk about our anticipated fall anime. That's not happening anymore because the Demon Slayer video decided to be a little difficult. It decided to not work. And so we had to work some stuff around. So instead of the following episode after this one being our anticipated fall anime, the episode after this one will now be our Demon Slayer Infinity Castle review. So to break it down, originally what we were going to do is our Demon Slayer movie review would come out end of this week, September 19th, and then following that one would be our Howl's Moving Castle review, the episode that you're watching currently. That one was going to release after Demon Slayer on the 23rd, and then after Demon Slayer would be our anticipated fall anime. So, the anticipated fall anime date was October 3rd, and that hasn't changed. That'll still be releasing on the 3rd. That's fine. But we're just essentially switching around Howl's Moving Castle and Demon Slayer. So, Howl's Moving Castle will be first. So, the part where we talk about, hey, anticipated fall anime next. No, it's not. Demon Slayer's next. So, all that to say, this episode is coming out on September 19th. The Demon Slayer movie review episode, if that one decides to work. Who knows if it's going to? We'll find out. That one's going to release on September 26th. And then our anticipated fall anime date, that hasn't changed, but you will most likely be hearing me again in a cute little voice recording at the end of the Demon Slayer review saying that, hey, you know, the plans that we lay out, that's not true. We've reworked some stuff. So just to summarize my rambling, this is first, September 19th, Demon Slayer 2nd, September 26th, anticipated fall anime 3rd, October 3rd, and then, you know, everything after that shouldn't have a problem. So, yeah. Thank you. See you in the next episode.